Well guys, I've tried to find an area where the sun isn't completely in my eyes or completely blinding the camera, but either way, this is the first time we will have gotten the Tundra off-road with the new wheel and tire setup. We're gonna see how these MAXXIS RAZR ATs do. And I also wanted to say that if you haven't seen the previous video where we took this thing off-road on a different trail and we were on, I believe, BFG KO2s in that video, make sure you go and watch that because that is over on the channel. And in case you guys haven't seen the setup yet, I'll go ahead and give you all a look at the wheel and tire package. These are 17-inch fuel coverts with basically brand new MAXXIS RAZR ATs on them. And I wanted to have a little bit more, just a little bit better on-road drivability, and that's why I went with an AT instead of an MT. But who knows, I may switch to an MT later on down the road. But these should be fun. They should be, at the very least, they should do a pretty decent job. And we're gonna go ahead and get back in the truck, get the camera mounted up, and we'll see what this trail's all about. Now, I am still trying to figure out a good place to mount the camera, but we're gonna play around with some angles and see what happens. Now, the approach to the trail was a good few miles of fire road that ran alongside this river right here and was actually really, really beautiful to drive in. Now, there wasn't really any challenging sections or anything like that, but again, I mean, it's a fire road. It's an entrance to a trail system. Now, I will say that, and you'll see this once we get a little bit further on into the video, I didn't know that this trail had basically been graded out and graveled in a lot of sections. And I assumed that that was most likely because they probably had issues with people just like going when it was super wet and digging out the rutted areas even more, or going off the road, going off the trail, things like that. But at the end of the day, it was actually kind of weird. It was kind of surprising to me because I had seen footage, I had seen videos of this trail from quite a while back, and as I was driving through, I was like, where's this? Where's this? Where's this? And then come to realize later on, a lot of those areas had indeed been graded and graveled. However, they did still have the initial river crossing that you get to do from what I believe is the south entrance. Well, we've been driving on about like 10-ish minutes of basically fire road, and we came to this like really cool little clearing. You can see there's like a little spot for us to pull off, and like over there the river kind of does this little horseshoe thing, and there's like kind of like a rocky sandbar over there, but it's like the water is like insanely clear. Maybe it's just like a time of year type thing. Maybe it's always that way back here. I don't know. We need to keep going just a little bit further on and then make a left, I think. And then from there, I think the actual like trail should start. So we'll see. Well, we're gonna put the camera back up. And I think I had something on the lens as well. Hopefully it's not broken. You can tell it rained recently back here, how it's all like full of water. Now, this was my first time actually seeing the entrance to this trail in person, and again, it's not like it's a super deep river crossing, it's not like it's a super gnarly one. I mean, a stock 4Runner was just going in, so again, it's not necessarily something that you require a tremendously built vehicle to do, but at the end of the day, it still felt really, really cool, and it still definitely had that like SnowRunner style vibe. It's funny because, you know, after playing SnowRunner for so long, I genuinely will think to myself in my head, it's not even that I do it on purpose, but my head will genuinely go, oh, this is like so-and-so moment in XYZ SnowRunner map, whether it's like a campaign map or a user-created map or whatever. It was just really, really cool. Now, as I inched on down into the river crossing, I decided to go ahead and put it in four-wheel drive. I didn't figure whether or not, like, it was gonna be super necessary, but I was like, you know what? I've never been through here before. I kind of figured it would probably just be good to have it on. I hadn't had it on up to this point, obviously, because we had just been on fire road. But what's cool about this crossing is that you don't actually go straight across. You kind of go out to the middle, and then you make a bit of a right turn, and then drive up the river for a little bit before exiting on the left. Your destination is on the right. Off-roading for violators. Now, as we exit the river, you'll actually see the first of many of these signs that look like they were put in fairly recently, although I don't really know the exact timeline of it, because again, this was my first time on this particular trail, but there are a lot of signs that say off-roading prohibited, and essentially meaning stay on the marked path, and once again, I assume that they must have put those there because they must have had that many issues with people going off of the main surface and making their own trails.
Still, like, I don't know, it's no Sarah's Creek yet.
Everything was going well until this happened.
Oh, my camera, like, tilted. Still going. Cool trail so far.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, what do you think of the trail?
I think it's awesome so far. I think like the views are really cool. Oh my God. Off-road towing and recovery, 24 hours, call this number. It definitely looks like they re-graveled it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not quite as like washed out as I figured it would be, or as I've seen it in some videos. Because I have watched videos of this place before, but not necessarily like, I don't know, it really does feel like some parts of it have been like re-graveled. Thank you for joining the chat, Clicky Axle. If y'all don't know, my driver's side front axle likes to sometimes click at me. I think it's just independent front suspension things, but you know, I'm not gonna worry about it if y'all aren't gonna worry about it.
At least until it breaks.
So while we're out here, if we're relating this to SnowRunner maps, right now, this is definitely like level one Michigan. This is like the training trail to the first outpost that you take in the Chevy 1500 is what this feels like. This stuff, I don't even need four-wheel drive for this. Like, I mean, I put it in four-wheel drive because I thought there was gonna be more, but I'm gonna be the YouTube comment section right now and say that this part of the trail, because it's actually true, I've been up driveways worse than this. Well, so I don't know how far through the trail we are, but a lot of it has been gravel road-like, and I see some clay up in the distance, but it's almost one of those where it's like you can tell that a lot of it has been rutted out and washed out by people. And it seems like, you know, trail maintenance and Forest Service people have done their best to come back through and like put rocks in and put gravel in where it's gotten really rutted out and washed out. But I'm gonna see what this is up here on the right. It looks like power lines. Oh, that's literally just like it goes up and then comes back down. I see. Look there on the right. I feel like my 37s are so over the top for this. Like, genuinely. Because there's a couple of 4Runners behind us. One of them is on like 33s and the other one is stock. And I feel so over the top. Oh, there's the Bronco. Let me pull to the side. Oh, hold on. Oh. Hang on. We'll see if we can squeeze. Love your Bronco. Yeah, thanks, I appreciate it. Oh, this is a little tighter. So we must be getting close to the end because that Bronco is the one that we saw on the way in, and they've gone in, turned around and come back. Oh, this is an interesting little like rocky spot.
One thing to note about this particular spot is that the GoPro made it look a lot flatter than it actually was. GoPros kind of have a tendency to do that. They kind of have a tendency to flatten everything out anyway. And with using a wide mode on this particular GoPro, it flattened things out even more. So do keep in mind that this is actually a pretty decent grade of a hill, but it doesn't look like that at all on the camera. It looks, like I said before, nearly flat on the camera, which, again, you really can't fix that with a GoPro. It's just kind of one of those things that it does.
Well, we're pulled off on the side of the road trail thing here. Apparently we're not quite fully done yet. The trail goes that way up through the creek, but yeah, dude, I mean, it's actually a really fun little trail. It was actually really like scenic, or at least so far. These tires have been awesome. Now, granted, we haven't put them through like a bunch of stuff, especially like, you know, no crazy rocks, no deep mud, but I mean, they only like slipped a couple of times. Now, granted, I didn't even have it in 4 low, I had it in 4 high, but we're just like parked on the side of the trail right now. But it's been a really, really fun little drive, actually. And there's so many creek crossings that it cleaned my wheels for me. It was like, well, I mean, actually, you can see like the water just kind of chilling down in there, but I mean, I'm sure it'll come out. But we saw, let's see, we saw those 2 4Runners that went by. We saw a 4-door Jeep JK. We saw actually a new Bronco Sasquatch package with the soft top, which is really, really cool. And then now we're gonna keep on going. Although the guys up there in the 4Runners are all of a sudden backing up. So I hope there's nothing like in the trail, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. Might be the stop, the end of the trail. Might be where that ain't bad. Well, we're kind of on the downhill part of it now. I pulled off the road, so like in case anybody comes by, they can still get through. We actually, like, it was really, really fun. It's not necessarily a super like tricky or difficult trail, but like it's definitely a fun trail if like you've got an afternoon to just come out and like have a really good time. The tires are awesome. Just like, not only were they decently performing, but they were like really comfy. Obviously we've got like a ton of sidewall. We're on like a 37 with a 17, and you're gonna have a ton of sidewall with that, but still, I mean, they definitely make it really, really comfy off-road. But I don't really think there's much more left on this trail. I think it's just gravel road now at this point, but we had a really, really good time. It was kind of a last-minute idea, last-minute video, and we decided to come and check this trail out. And if y'all enjoyed it, let us know in the comment section down below what you thought of it, and if you would like to see more, or if there's any areas you would like to see us take this truck, let us know once again. And as far as some stuff that we have coming for the truck, we have upgraded tie rods, coach builder tie rods coming. We also have upgraded upper control arms from Dirt King suspension on the way as well. And then the next step after that is definitely gonna be a bumper, because the stock bumper situation kind of needs to change. But once again, I hope y'all enjoyed, and we will see y'all in the next one. Talk to y'all later.